What's up? What's up? What's up? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to the Me and the Homies podcast. I'm your host, Tayo. Today I'm here with the homies Crunch and Miya. What's up, y'all?
Everything is all good, brother.
Yo.
I was going to ask y'all how y'all were doing and fake that, but I just did that and fucked it up, and we had to start over. So I'm assuming y'all still doing good?
Yeah, we good, man.
Basically.
All right, well, as usual, we always start the podcast with the drink of the day. Miya, what you bring through for us?
Okay, so we have some Jack Daniels, some pineapple juice, and some ginger ale. We're going to call it Booker T. Washington.
That's hard. You got a name. That's
So
terrible,
what
actually.
inspired that
Booker
name?
T. Washington.
Tuskegee University.
Oh, okay. And there it is, ladies and gentlemen. There it is.
I'm very curious as to how he feels about that, and we'll just assume that he approves.
He probably hates it.
He got his red cup
it
up.
happens.
Rolling in his grave. I'm so sorry.
Booker T. Washington was like not with the shit. That's what I was gonna say, but that's not what it's not an accurate term for what I meant. He was very into pull him up by the bootstraps, labor. He had to be a drinker, he had to be with it.
Yeah,
I mean, they do have good moonshine down there, so.
Well, I think that's just associated.
Did he top the bottle is the question.
Just associated with being in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
So we got the drink of the day. Let's get into the top five. The top five for this week are the top 5 songs you can sing from top to bottom if your life depended on it. Now, for me, this is already a stretch because I like anybody who knows me knows I'm terrible with lyrics. My lyrics typically are better than what was written. Logically, they normally make more sense. Except for that Lloyd shit, but I feel like everybody got that wrong.
No,
Which
what?
are the 5'2" or 5'2"?
She's 5'2".
5'2", 5'2". So
Why would you
is it
even think
5'2" or 5'2"?
Why would you think about her height in that situation?
So he didn't enunciate. That's on him.
No, that's on you for thinking that.
But
everybody thought it. It's not like I'm alone. It's not like I'm the person.
Right,
it's not like I'm the fuck up. And I don't hold that against me.
5'2", what?
But I want you.
But you know
Lloyd,
that's not
So
uncommon.
does he discriminate against everybody else's
Well, he's
height?
short. He's short. Have y'all seen Lloyd in person?
Oh, you got a point.
He's pretty short. So I was like, oh, he's like, damn, she's my ideal height, but I want you. Damn, you tall, but fuck it, I want you. That's really like.
That is the dumbest shit I've
is
ever
he,
heard.
Is he
in my
really
life.
like that's?
So
like,
he came to our high school
He
when we were in
did,
7th
but
grade.
I wasn't there.
I mean, I was super young. I was like, damn, that makes sense. And everybody else said 5'2".
A lot of people thought it was 5'2".
That's what I'm saying. You were like in the minority.
No, y'all were on crack, so I don't know what to tell you.
Bro, that's like in that list, like with Ja Rule and all them, when they like say, oh, this is what I was really saying. Everybody be like, oh my God.
No, what's the name of that little J-Lo?
Are you ready? He said, no, it's R-U-L-E. Bitch, why wouldn't it be Are You Ready? Like, why would you mess this up?
Hey, but did you think she said, are you ready to?
I used to look up lyrics a lot, so.
So you
So
just go judge.
You're going to be
I'm
the
not
one nigga
judging.
that
I'm
didn't.
not judging.
You're going to be
No,
the one
yeah. Bro,
Excuse the fuck out of
everybody else in America thought.
You know what I'm saying?
Everybody
I
else in
can
the world
understand
thought,
why
are you
y'all-
ready?
Why would it be 5'2"? Because we thought
No,
that's what
I
it was.
can understand Ja Rule. I cannot understand Lloyd.
You should,
I mean,
you should try.
In hindsight, I see what you're saying. It's like, yeah, why would he?
Why
say
would
that?
I mean, of course,
But-
now, my nigga, hold
Yeah.
up. So we've had some technical difficulties, and this is the second batch of. Is it Booker T or Booker T Washington?
Booker T. Washington.
Gotta say the whole thing. Okay. This is not the same, drink. This shit is
So,
strong.
so that means the regular Booker T
I just
5
took
times.
Yeah, 5-time champ. I just took a sip. I said,
Five
oh, this is different. And then we got the
Five
big ass
times.
Nukes cup. This shit, man,
Yes,
this is
sir.
gonna
Hey,
hurt.
bro, that's crazy because I realized like half of my income went to them cups. I have like 27 of them cups in my cabinet.
Been eating good at Nukes.
Bro, I'm like, why not take them home? I was like, why do people throw these away? You can use it. You know what I'm saying?
Plastic cups. What?
What? I'm like, man, it's it's
Strong.
durable. Like
It's strong.
like if you throw it on the ground, it's gonna bounce. So it's like, yeah, you got
Yeah, that's
like,
the test.
You gotta try to
keep-
tear them up.
Y'all are stupid. Which one of y'all want to go first for the top 5?
I guess I can go. Unless you wanted to go, Maya.
No, go ahead, because I have plenty. Just
You
in
have
case,
plenty?
Just in case y'all.
You got a top 10?
Okay, so
Oh, you didn't want no repeats.
Right.
Somebody
Well-
else said that. I don't be giving a damn about
oh yeah. Oh, what'd you call it from last? Was it AC
Yeah.
from last week?
No, my homie Nate B.
Nick, yeah. So my 5. Now some of them is gonna be kind of thrown off. Well, one, Upgrade You by Lil Wayne.
What do you mean by thrown off?
Like because it's like I only know like the verses, so I don't know like.
So you
only
would
the
die.
verses. Pretty much.
Okay.
So yeah,
But
yeah,
not
yeah.
for real, for real. They'd be like, oh, this nigga don't know that part. So
But it's like, why it kill me if I knew like Andre 3000's verse on International Players Anthem? Everybody don't rap. Everybody else. Like
My
you only
nigga.
rap like certain parts of Pimp C's verse. Who really raps Bun B's verse? Let's be real. You rap Bun B's verse?
Hold on. How did he come in? Because he came in slick with that.
He came in slick
that
with
high count.
Okay, go
He
ahead.
was-
Start.
now-
Start. If you start the verse.
You gotta start me off. It's like when you learn how to ride a bike, you gotta start me off.
But everybody remembers, I typed a text to a girl that used to see.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
that
yeah.
everybody knows
you can
that.
start it off, and maybe by the time
That's
you're
what I'm
done
saying.
with
I'm a
it, they gonna
choosy
be,
level.
That's
they'll
Pimp
be
C.
like, oh, you got it,
Pimp
bro.
C,
You
that's what I'm
got
saying.
it.
Oh, okay.
But Bun B
But
verse,
Bun B came in
We don't
slick
even make it
fast.
half.
So you gotta start. You gotta like. It's like a bike, bro. Just start me off, and I can pedal a
in
little
the,
bit.
in the club, we don't make it past Pimp C's verse.
I
Yeah.
mean, your murder is not gonna be in the club. Like,
All right, so
It's supposed to be from top to bottom.
Okay, so one, Upgrade You by Lil Wayne on Drought 3. That's one. Two would be H to the Izzo by Jay or Hova by Jay-Z.
Yeah.
Three would be Miss Me by Drake. Four would probably be now it's getting tricky. Four would probably be let me see. I'm trying not to substitute it with a gospel song. I'm trying my best not to do it, but I'm very close to doing it.
hey, you
I'm
gotta
very
do what you
close
gotta
to
do.
it.
You gotta live. You
We
gotta
fall
make.
down.
All right, hey, look.
Clark.
You gonna make it home. You gonna make it home the next day.
Hey, but
Thanks
what
to
if
God.
But what if I stumble while singing though? I'm making the glory for
You
real.
gonna die and go to hell. That's terrible. That's terrible.
That's rough.
That's
man.
all bad.
That's rough. And then now real talk. And five would be the intro to the Carter by Wayne. My little
The first Carter?
Yes. Matter of fact, I'm gonna substitute. It's bad. I'm gonna substitute Donnie McClurkin with BMJR by Lil Wayne on the first Carter.
Okay.
Yeah, I like that. So, yeah.
Maya, you want me to go or what you?
Go ahead.
Yeah, I want to finish this because I want to go now because I feel like you should close because I think your list is about to be absolutely
Because
ridiculous.
she looks up Rap Genius.
I mean,
30 minutes before you go to bed.
I feel
It
like your
is
list is about
so
to
fun. I think you should do it too.
That is
Wait,
hilarious.
you do what?
No, just go ahead.
All right. So I don't have this on my list, but in light of the Carter 5 dropping, my honorable mention, and judge me, I don't care, would be Promise on Drought 3.
Oh,
Yeah, that was my shit.
that one goes.
Bitch, I am a blood. Sue Woo.
Hey, he went crazy on this. That's a lot
I
of
will
Lil
change
Wayne
my name
songs.
to Boo.
That's a lot of Lil Wayne songs. My
Bruh.
top five really could have been all Lil Wayne songs.
Nah, I
from
would
06.
fuck those all up lyrically. Oh my God. I'd just be saying words. Top 5 for me would be I Believe I Can Fly by R. Kelly. Chill, bro. We had to sing it in first
Does
grade.
pitch
Did y'all ever
pitch
sing
matter?
that? Nah, pitch don't matter. Relax. Relax.
That
Relax.
nigga ain't say nothing about keys.
I
Yeah, yeah, let me
think that I could not go.
Yeah, did y'all see that in
on.
first grade?
What is that?
I don't know if that was on the school curriculum or nothing, but we sang that in music class in the first
Oh,
grade.
did you?
No.
It was like a big deal. Like we had a concert.
No, we
for
had to
it.
play
Oh,
it
I
in
think
band
we
though.
did. I think we did.
Shout out
sing
to
the first
Aiken. If you went to Aiken, you did it.
I went to Gateway, so
I don't remember what our music teacher was, but like the fact that
I
R.
went to
Kelly,
Napier.
yeah, y'all sing some other shit. We sang "I Believe I Can Fly" and I Missed the Bus, and we had the like,
I think we did. I think that was all part of the same curriculum.
yeah. See, in Napier, who knows what y'all was on there doing.
Wow.
Oh, you
I
went to
believe-
Napier?
It was a tough year that year.
Shit. Well, y'all rolling
You went
dice
one
in the
year?
house. Y'all rolling dice with y'all teachers and all.
Niggas singing nothing was
Outside
nothing but a
with it.
G thing at the concert.
Damn, y'all crip walking at the
That's
concert.
terrible.
That's crazy.
Look, I got "I Believe I Can Fly" by R. Kelly. "All Falls Down" by Kanye.
Oh, yeah, that's a good. Oh,
Don't Judge Me, but "Stomp" by Kirk Franklin.
Okay, yeah.
Do you know Salt verse?
Huh?
Do you know Salt's verse?
Oh no, I ain't got that version.
Well,
Can I substitute real quick?
What's up?
The intro to Lil Wayne to "Good Life" by Kanye.
Oh yeah.
That
that's a
one,
solid
yeah,
one.
that one, yeah, because I performed that before. I had to remember all that shit.
I was gonna get into why you were performing that, but I'm gonna leave it alone.
Okay, yeah, go ahead, yeah. You're good, love. Enjoy.
Juicy by Juicy by Biggie, and That's What's Up by Yo
I
Gotti.
still don't know. I still don't know all the words to Juicy by Biggie.
For real?
And my dad is from New York.
Nah, yeah, I'm good with Juicy. Well, I was always the big dark skinned nigga, so niggas was like, yeah, Blake, and I don't know why I would do that shit.
So that was more of like a traumatic remembrance. It wasn't
So
really
this is triggering.
like I wanted to remember that.
I was with it. This is before I got older. Now Greg has been trying to.
But are you now?
Greg has been trying to get me to dress up as Rick Ross for like 6 years now.
I'm finished,
and I'm just like, leave me alone, nigga. No, I'm not doing that shit. Yeah, that's my top 5. What you got, mine?
Okay, so I have a lot. I too had Yo Gotti. That's What's Up.
Yeah.
But after that, I also had Crime Mob Stilettos. If anybody knows me,
that sounds about
that
Miya.
is a jam.
I've definitely seen you in Queens.
Okay. I also have Shy. If I Ever Fall in Love. I learned that at vocalist.
I was just making sure.
I learned that at school.
And Napier.
No, Tuskegee.
I'm about to say, y'all learned that in Napier.
You didn't know that growing up?
No, I knew it, but I knew the words.
Yeah, I got you.
By then, I'm gonna throw you guys off. Father, Young Hot Ebony. I'm not sure if you know that song, but
I know
you gotta
Father,
give us a little bit.
She's very ratchet, by the way.
You gotta give me a little bit. I have no clue what that is.
No, that's okay.
What is
you are Mojo's cousin.
Who is Father?
Exactly.
He's a very inspirational rapper to me.
Hey,
is he like a gospel rapper?
Think of who Mose Joe listens to.
So his
he
spectrum
fits that category.
No, I can't. I don't understand when you say that. Like, his spectrum of music is so
like,
ridiculous.
Like when the
today,
like Lil Pump Mose. Like Lil Pump or Trippie Red Mose.
Yeah, I'm straight on that.
You might like it.
Nah,
Trippie Red
like
Mose.
it.
I'm cool.
I'm gonna give you some homework.
I'm cool.
I'm gonna give you some homework. Go listen to
Nah,
Father Thought Night.
Nah, I'm straight.
Just go listen to Thought Night. It's gonna change your life.
I'm gonna listen to it.
That shit fire. That shit fire.
Because the way you asked it, I'm gonna listen to it.
Go listen to it.
Bro, Mose is the only person I know who goes from like Church of Christ, no instrument gospel music, to Trippie Red and all these other little weird ass kids.
Wow, we really are family.
Yeah. I'm like, as soon as you said Father, I'm like, yeah, that is Mose Joe's cousin.
That's terrible.
Okay, so what was I on 4?
Yeah, that was 4.
Damn, which one gonna be the 5th one?
Oh, dang, you really like
describe
the list.
I have 10.
Go give us all 10.
Okay, so let's see. Father, Young, Hot Ebony. I have a Tron song by Thundercat. I don't know if you guys listen to Thundercat.
I haven't listened to that.
I'm saying
Thundercat is great though.
I love
Thundercat be
him.
tweeting you.
Cause he's my nigga.
That's crazy.
He's literally my nigga.
Are
Maybe
you
not like my boyfriend, but that's my nigga.
No, like you communicate with him.
All the time. Like
often. Okay.
That nigga funny. What?
He's a funny nigga.
That's dope. Yeah.
Who is the nigga who was cleaning his house and you know what I'm talking about?
Say it again.
He wasn't okay. I worded that poorly. He wasn't cleaning Thundercat's house, but he was cleaning his house, and he was like commentating this. This was probably viral like a few months ago. He was cleaning his house and he was commentating. He was like, "Splash on a bitch ass nigga."
Oh,
y'all don't remember that?
No.
He's like, "You got to get the baseboards." Y'all don't remember that?
Oh shit! I think I know who you're talking about.
Bro, I don't remember who that was. I just remember I wanted to go look at more of his stuff because he was funny. But I'm sorry. I'm going off.
I can't remember. No, I can't remember. You got me wanting to look.
Oh, you know what I'm talking about though.
I've heard about it, but
I just remember he had a slaw shower caddy and he went and upgraded. He went to Tarjay and upgraded his shower caddy. Y'all, that shit was funny, but never mind.
That nigga said Tarjay.
That's what he called it. That's how.
Oh,
sorry.
Okay, Beyonce, Crazy in Love, because it's Beyonce. Childish Gambino, Do You Like? That was the first song I've ever heard. That was the first song I ever heard by him.
Hey, that song, that beat was hard too, though.
Right.
I think you may have put me on that.
Bro, early Childish Gambino.
Yeah, you put me on. You put me on early.
Not that he's not hard now, but I liked him more back then. I think.
He has a concert coming up that I will not be attending.
Oh, it got rescheduled.
It did
to December 4th.
I'm going to that one.
I got tickets to Lauryn Hill, by the way, and
I hope she shows up.
When is she coming here, or are you going to another city?
October 11th.
Oh, that's soon.
Yeah.
I'm gonna start praying for you now.
I would really like to go to that. Like, I love Lauryn Hill, but I mean, I don't want to put myself in a position to dislike her. And I feel like
hey, you know
I feel like the numbers are closer.
I got 2 decent tickets for $50 total. So
okay. She came here and shook it last year or the year before.
Yeah. She came on time when my sister went. So
everybody loved her. I was like, damn, I should have went.
So there's it's bad. It's like we got to discuss that. It's a possibility that she won't show up. That's sad.
It is sad.
Because she's a legend.
How talented are you that people are willing to go to your concert?
They still buy tickets.
That you barely show up to, and you can't perform any of the music that we want to hear.
Well, it's still the music, but it's just.
I mean, I don't want to hear it behind jazz, like melodies and shit. Like, oh, you don't know this.
Oh,
you know she's not performing the songs like as they
you
were
ruined
originally
it for
composed.
him, Jesus.
No, he needs to know this. She gonna get up there and be singing to Zion, but it's gonna be.
Don't do.
To bebop, nigga.
I mean, it just be like it don't be normal.
It's
like,
more like kind of like a funky Afrobeat sort of type of deal.
So, my G, you need to get ready.
So when I hear what's the name of that song? Everything is. When I listen to doo-wop, it's not gonna be doo-wop.
No, it's
not
not
gonna be like
doo-wop.
That's
how it's gonna be.
Don't tell him that.
I'm gonna be disturbed.
I mean, you need to know. Like,
I'm gonna be disturbed if that's going to occur. Cause man,
you need to know before you get there.
Yeah, I'm gonna be upset.
Yeah, I mean, just look it up and you'll get a feel for it. But I mean, it's not the
classic. Like, hey, we
nah, that's not happening.
You're gonna enjoy it.
I've heard it's still good.
I think.
Yeah, and I like live music.
Well,
it's gonna be good for you.
Her band doesn't seem to like it, but other people enjoy it.
That's a whole different story.
We went way down, rabbit hole. My fault. Where are you on your list?
Oh shit. Number 9, Dom Kennedy.
We were not on 8.
Yes, we were on 8. Oh no, we were on
like 6.
7.
Oh,
so
okay.
I mean, you can still
okay. Dom Kennedy, When I Come Around.
Oh yeah, that's a nice pop.
That's a classic.
Yeah, that's a classic.
Number
8 would be, or number 9, you switch up.
Erykah Badu, Bag Lady.
Okay. Yeah, wonderful song.
And lucky number 10, Hot Cross Buns.
Is that like a patty cake game almost? Like,
that's the first song I learned when I was in band, but they had lyrics.
That's not like a real song.
I'll tell you what.
Right?
That is a real song. And if somebody was like,
it's like,
sing this, exactly.
Okay.
1 a penny, 2 a penny,
Dang.
Hot Cross Buns. I know the lyrics,
and I'm a live. So I can say my ABCs then.
You could have.
Dang. So I'm a substitute.
Twinkle, twinkle, little star. Did nobody think about that?
You know, I'm in no way a murderer, but if I ask somebody to sing a song and I'm going to shoot the moment, you won't get to see. You start doing that shit. For being a smart ass, you're not getting to see. But don't play with me, dog. Like, you know that's not what I meant.
Oh, man.
That is funny that I'm mugged out. But that's actually pretty clever, though. Hot Cross Buns. I still don't know the word. I died of that because I ain't sang that song since.
What did you learn how to play?
Nothing, because I never know how to play an instrument.
Oh, I thought.
Did you play the recorder ever?
No, never.
You never had that in school?
We did, but I wasn't forced to.
You was on a triangle?
No,
I ain't even trying to play. Like,
no. I never played an instrument.
But the recorder used to be like an in-class thing. That wasn't even like.
Yeah, I never.
Like everybody had.
Yeah, I never. No, I never played a recorder.
Dang, you missing out.
I mean, I was terrible. I think my mom threw mine away. Like, I just couldn't find it one day. And I was just like, and I feel like it was my mom because it was just like right after the point where I was receiving a grade for it.
Oh, man.
Like when it was just mine to enjoy it, I just couldn't find it.
I remember.
Like, as long as I was getting a grade for it, they was always around. But the moment it just didn't matter, that shit was gone immediately.
Hey, you remember in 7th grade, we had to take like one elective, like either had to be in choir or.
I don't remember choir, but tell me more.
But so we had to do the whiz.
Oh,
we had to do the whiz one time.
Who was teaching choir?
It was some black dude. I forgot his name.
No wonder he had y'all doing the whiz.
Yeah, it was some black dude.
Who all was in choir with you?
I cannot remember.
I don't even know what you're talking about. Oh, I think I might have took Miss Benelli or something.
Miss Benelli? No, boy, Miss Benelli taught typing. That was when we were older. This is 7th grade.
No, I don't remember.
Where it was me, you, and Jamil hanging out.
Yeah, but I don't remember. Shout out to Jamil.
Yeah, shout out to Jamil.
I don't remember no.
So so I'm just gonna fast forward. Now you talking about lip syncing, boy? And I was the lead.
You were lead? Oh, you was probably the only black person. You was probably the only black person.
Oh my God.
Man too.
Were you the only black guy in the class?
Like one of them. But it's like, bro, I hated singing in choir. And my sister's right here to vouch. Like, I hated singing in the choir at church. I hated it. I remember I sang one song and started crying while I was singing.
I used to shake it in the choir before my voice changed. Bro, I used to have that. Before my voice changed, you couldn't tell me I was going to be a star. I thought I was young Michael, Lil Michael. Shout out to, is it Marcus Weaver? Is that his name?
Jason Weaver?
Jason Weaver, my fault. I thought I was him.
Jason Weaver.
I was him and he was me.
You were not.
Dog, I was cold.
Oh, yeah.
I sang in the choir with Kirk Franklin one time when he came to town. I was legit good.
Bro, I think you're one of the only people that thoroughly sat through that entire Jackson 5
We talk
movie.
about this every week, and I don't know how you just continue to slander this.
Me and Jacquees.
We talk about this every week, and somebody manages to slander that movie. That's an amazing movie.
It is.
An American classic.
I never had
I don't think I realized that I sit through the entire thing till I'm like, dang.
Temptations a long-ass movie, too.
Nah, I don't know if I can sit through the entire. I can do it in spurts.
That's how I can do it.
I can leave and come back and be like, oh, okay.
I can't sit through entire Temptations movie either.
You know one movie that everybody likes to watch that I just can't get with, and I don't know why people enjoy it? The Color Purple. That shit is so depressing.
It is also entertaining. What are you talking about?
Bruh, I've just never seen it's just a collection of black people losing and losing and losing. It's like Good Times without the humor. Like, I'm just like, why do y'all want to watch this? This is terrible.
Man,
I was like, it's just
nothing but abuse and shit
like
that trickled down for.
They're already living through. Aren't they living through the depression?
I think so, yeah.
So life is
before
bad.
Oh, that was before the depression.
I mean, okay.
Well, it might be.
So anything. I mean, okay. Anything before the depression is terrible. Like, there's not a lot of good things going on.
Nah.
So you're already living in probably one of the worst times in life to be alive.
I think it still sucks for us, honestly. So.
I mean, I'm living a way better life than the people in the Color Purple.
You got a point. You have a point.
I'm living a way better life.
I mean, and you're not looked down upon for sleeping with 12-year-olds and 13-year-olds and shit. Like, it was a freaky time.
Oh, the movie. You threw me way. I was like, what the fuck are you
talking about? I'm talking about the movie.
I'm like, nigga, yes.
I was like,
yes. I'm looking down on anybody that's doing that. I'm like, what is he talking about?
Yeah, like you burying somebody 14 years old. Like, that's sick ass shit, man.
Yeah, that's terrible.
And you sought her ass out.
And then
you wanted her, and she 14. Yeah,
she don't even know herself yet. Just fucking her.
Ain't got no permit or nothing yet. That's terrible.
That's rough.
For what car?
I'm just talking. For what car? I really hate that.
Could she read in the movie?
No.
Could nobody in that damn movie read?
No one of them could read. She taught her how to read.
Oprah read 3 books every day, and she couldn't read in the damn movie. Look,
don't do this, Sophia. Come on, man. All she had.
We were still saying eyes, like I apostrophe S.
That's like so bad. That's such a bad movie. It's such a terrible movie. Like I get angry. If I walk in a room somewhere and I see somebody watching it, I just stare at them for 30 seconds. Like, what's wrong with you? Who made you like that?
That shit entertaining, man.
That shit is terrible.
I guess I find comedy and tragedy.
Bro, no, like, I could be at work and have the choice between doing work or watching The Color Purple, and I would choose work every day. Like, without hesitation.
Nah, fuck that. I'm watching Color Purple.
Right.
Fuck, because, like, man, like, working. Because speaking of work, working with people, like, every day, bro, it's like you deal with so many different, like, spirits and energies, bro. Like,
both y'all be having me tripping on social media about your work life. And what's funny is you visually... I just see you. Well, I shouldn't say that.
No,
but I see you ignoring customers or just being frustrated with them.
Oh yeah.
And then I see you like on Twitter, so it's like you narrating like just what is wrong with these niggas. Like, so I'm just like,
people are stupid.
Bro, work is crazy. I can imagine having customers in Crunch. I don't know how you deal with
it's
that.
It's like it varies. Like each day, like is a new day. Like it's nothing like. Like you can see the same situation, but in different variations.
Oh man!
So for instance, it's like okay, say you have like your phone isn't like working, but all it is do not disturb. You're like, oh okay, like you're like, oh, it's just a function of my phone. I can just press it and you're out the door. Whereas somebody would have the same exact like issue and be like, no, I'm gonna give me a new phone today. I'm getting a new phone.
They mad.
They like, hold on. I'm like, slow down.
Slow your roll.
Like, let me get. No, you're gonna give me a phone. And I just grabbed the manager.
Not like that, Playboy. Slow down.
Yeah, it's not going to happen. No, you're not. First of all, it's way past the 14-day return policy. You're not getting a new phone from us. You have you don't have insurance. Huh? Hurts. Hurts. Yeah. So yeah, it varies, man. It's like you get so many. Honestly, this is the customer that I absolutely can't stand getting. An older couple. I don't care if it's black, white, Asian. Like older couples, especially the baby boomers. Oh gosh, like it's the my way. They are really like a spoiled group of like individuals. Like
what's funny is that's how they feel about us.
Which is crazy.
That's the irony of it all.
That's
it's like,
crazy to me.
They refuse to change. Like when you say the word change, it's like saying the curse word. Like even if it's going to benefit them, like they hate change.
Their normal.
They absolutely hate it, and I'm like, man, what is wrong? Like y'all, and I have to explain the same thing over and over and over again, to the point where I start getting insecure. I'm like,
am I saying this right?
Am I speaking English? Like, and I say it clearly, like I'm not speaking Ebonics. I'm not, I'm not like talking in cursive. Like I'm really like thoroughly explaining
in layman's terms.
Exactly.
What are y'all's office makeups like? Are there people around your age? Little minorities.
So, are you talking about like?
Why are you laughing? I'm being for real.
I work with black women, older women, and most of them are my work aunties. So you can just imagine.
Yeah,
that's unique. That's unique though.
It's cool.
That's unique. It's cool though.
It's cool on certain. It's a blessing in certain instances, but.
It's just probably so many unwanted opinions.
So many. That's why they think I'm so quiet. They think I'm just a goody two shoes. I don't do anything, honey. I don't want to explain what's going on in my life to y'all.
Gossiping.
Because y'all, you got it.
Especially whenever
I can't.
You stay away from the people who talk bad about somebody else behind their back. Because they're going to say the same stuff about you.
Exactly. Let me miss a day. What you going to say about me?
Exactly.
That's terrible.
But see, my makeup, our team is, first of all, like 95% male.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and then all of us
really?
range between, And
y'all still do sales. That's normally not the case.
I'm like, bro, like we got 2 girls joining the force now, which is pretty cool because we need more feminine energy on the force. But it's like, and then it's only 3 black guys, me being one of them. Right. And then one is about to quit, so it's only going to be 2 of us.
Oh, wow.
So, imagine playing the fence with just 2 of us.
I was just listening to, I don't know if y'all are familiar with Jenkins and Jones. They're like some Twitter niggas who have a podcast.
They're hilarious.
They are. And one dude was talking about work culture. Like, you have those corny work jokes that you make. And he's like, occasionally you get comfortable and you start telling jokes that are more, familiar to your background or more associated with your background. And one of them works as a recruiter. And he was saying that they had a whole meeting about the spiel about how they need to, hire more recruiters and bring them on. And they told him, they were like, so that's going to be, assigned to you. You need to make sure you make that happen. And so just, his guard was down and just in the moment, he was like, yeah, I got that. And in his Cameron voice, he said, I recruit the recruiters. Right, he said he was just so let down and nobody got it. He said everybody was just staring at him like, okay. I was like, bro, that is my job to the team.
Man. Yeah, that's like trash.
But there's only 4 people in my job, in my department of maybe 30 or 40 people who are under 30. And then of them, I'm the only person of color. We do have 2 women who are younger. But I mean, it's just I'm such an outlier. There's only 2 other people of color in my department. That's not true. We have 2 international students. So they came in and but
they be doing their own thing.
Yeah, they don't really associate with anything that's going on. They just do their work and leave. But then we have, outside of me, we have 2 other males who are a little older than me. One is the manager. The only other black person in the department is the manager. And bro, when I tell you it's so sad sometimes to see like how you have to act to get there. Like I know you can say you can do things a different way, but he's the only one I see. And bro, I mess with him, so I'm not gonna say shucking and jiving, but
you gonna tap dance your ass?
Playing that game.
I'm not tap dancing.
It's frustrating.
That's why I'm not a manager right now, because it's like, bro, like for instance, say So, all these corporations are a pyramid scheme.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
Right. We're the front line. Pretty much, I know y'all can probably resonate with that. Like, we're the front line as the customer service representatives or retail sales consultants. So we have, so the way the pyramid goes is retail sales consultant, then you have assistant store managers, you have store manager, then you have an area sales manager, director of sales, and then like vice president, yada, yada, whatever. Whenever the vice president or area sales manager go in, everybody assholes get tight. Like everybody, like the anxiety level for having to perform all of a sudden just goes through the roof. I'm like, bro, I can't do this shit like no more. And it's like I'm not gonna. And then just to see how people switch up they whole demo, like at first like. One day they all cool, and then when they come in, they gotta act like they all for the company. I'm all for this.
That's exactly
and then throw people under the bus to try to elevate them. I'm like, bro, like you feel me? Like I'm like, man, that's so trash, bro.
That's
like,
such a toxic work environment.
Oh, 100%. And it's crazy because other than that though, because everything else be cool, but whenever you can really tell people true colors whenever power walks in the room, right? Like people be folding. I'm like, man, one day because we just had the iPhone launch. And so we had to be there at 7. So usually I have a routine of getting up early, working out, boom. I have to wake up at 4. So I'm already pissed because I have to be at work at 7. I have to work from 7 to 9. Now, granted, I had a 4-hour break in between, but who really want to work a split shift?
Yeah, so 4 hours ain't enough time to really.
So I walk in, and our area sales manager is in and stuff like that, and it's cool, And everybody, like not everybody, but it's like everybody's acting fake. Happy to be there, and I'm like, and they're like, it's like, is everybody excited? I'm like, no, I'm not. And then all of a sudden, like everybody just, I'm like, no, I just finished working out. You feel me? Like, and y'all know this is dumb, and y'all know this is dumb because half the people have already pre-ordered the phone. Like, hey, technology has advanced so much that people really don't have to come to the store. Matter of fact, companies are starting to encourage people to order their stuff online. The only time you need to come to the store is only time we want you to come to the store is whenever you want to buy the TV service that we're providing, which is crazy because we have 3 doggone TV services. How many TV services do we need? But it's like, it's that type of stuff, that corporation mentality, man, is just like people get really lost in the sauce. You know what I'm saying? And lose the sense of their individuality, trying to be consumed about something that would automatically chew you up and spit you out anytime.
Exactly. It's frustrating.
It is crazy to see people not understand that too, because like I've seen people who like will have certain job opportunities or other situations that would be better for them personally, but they're just like, there's no way I could do that to the company. I'm like, they would fire you. Like,
listen, this lady at my job, sad to say, she recently passed away. They replaced her the next week.
Oh yeah, the show keeps going, and that's what I'm saying. It's like there's no sense, like whenever, especially in a capitalistic society, there's no sense of humanity at all.
They don't give a fuck about.
They don't give a fuck. Like y'all gonna like me today. Y'all gonna like me today.
And what's crazy is that my supervisor, she tells me all the time, she's like, baby, if you want to leave, leave. Because somebody will be in that seat again. She didn't mean it in a mean way. She was just saying, if you have something that you want to do that's bigger and better, go and do that. Because at the end of the day, my team going to be full with or without you.
You know what's so crazy? The irony of like working in a corporation is that they need you, but it's presented as a privilege, basically. Right? You see what I'm saying? Yeah. That's the crazy part about it. It's like, because they're always going to need people to fill those shoes. And they're going to, and like, it's just like recruiting, like in sports or anything. I know y'all haven't played like a college sport, but anybody, or recruiting period, like to anything, it's like the people that are recruiting are going to paint that perfect picture for you to make it sound like you can get this, you can get this, you can get this, you can get this. And then if you don't, like, analyze it, you can automatically be jaded. Like, like you're like, I'm like, shit, I'm with it. Like, what can I say? You know what I'm saying? Give me the paper now, nigga. Like, but and then when you get into it, it's like, hold on, like you recruited me to play point guard, but there's 2 other dudes here playing point guard.
Right.
I got to compete with them niggas.
That's not what you.
That's not what you
This
told
is
me.
not what I signed up for.
She told my mama that I automatically, my mama raised me, so that's what you ain't tell my mama that. You ain't tell my daddy that.
So why is this just
why
popping
is this here?
Up? Yeah,
you feel me? It's called This is America.
What's crazy is we're dealing with all those corporations and all those things. It's like in your everyday life, you deal with so much shit like at work that you just think is so stupid. For example, like you were saying with those phones, 90% of the people are gonna like pre-order them or have it already taken care of. But that 10% of people who still don't believe in that stuff and want to come into the store, the corporation does stuff that annoys you, but it takes care of people like them. You know, it appeals to people like them. While that's super annoying as somebody who's at work, the time where I appreciate shit like that the most is when it comes to black-owned businesses. Because we gonna do exactly what you said. Niggas ain't gonna come in and close it up for the day.
Right.
And you just be like, bro, like I just be wanting to like, would y'all, if there was a black-owned major phone network, like if Magic Johnson bought Sprint today from like if the T-Mobile deal don't go through and Sprint was available and Magic Johnson bought it, would y'all transfer?
Well, I'm already with Sprint, so I'm already down.
But yeah, man, what were you saying? Now, I mean,
it would take a lot of convincing.
Ooh, I mean, well, okay. Question: Is this black owned built up, or is this black owned?
It's Sprint. Sprint is one of the top 4 big players in the cell phone industry. It's obviously not Verizon or AT&T. It's probably right there at 4.
Right.
But I mean,
yeah.
But I mean, you're gonna have. I mean, you have it now. Like it's doable. It's not like it's something that you can't work with. So, and then I mean, we do that with certain things. If it's black owned, like we go to the restaurant that doesn't take debit cards because it's black owned sometimes, and they're gonna have our food right.
But the chicken fry.
Exactly. So would you go through that inconvenience if like with Sprint you get title, don't you? Mm-hmm. See, you know what I'm saying? Hulu. Exactly.
You get what?
Hulu and title.
Yeah, go ahead.
That's what I'm saying. Would y'all do it?
Oh, if it was black, if Sprint was black on,
100%
black on. Look, let me tell you this, man. Like,
it would take some real convincing.
I need quality. I do need quality. Now, that's why I was asking. I would have more. I would be more intrigued if the company was black owned, built from the ground up, than something that's already trash, in my opinion.
Good point.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
That's
like,
fair.
I get
if
your
it was
point.
Verizon,
you know what I'm saying?
that's fair. If it was Verizon and Verizon is black owned now,
yeah, of course, the service is amazing. I mean, but see, that's still. I mean, at the end of the day, it's still the same. Not still the same deal because the quality is better. But I'm talking about I'm more susceptible for jumping ship if I believe in the vision from the cell phone company built the ground up from one of us, from one of our. So I know there's position for growth a lot, especially if it's somebody from Magic Johnson or somebody that has money to invest, and we have a lot of spending power as black people. I'm more willing to jump ship. So you're saying
if it's already where it needs to be, you don't mind doing that?
100%. I'll say that. I'll say that.
And I guess with black-owned businesses, the reasons they annoy me so much they're not big money corporations like what we're talking about now.
Exactly.
Because boy, that mom and pop shit be for the birds.
But okay. So why do you think? Okay, so let's get a little deeper. So why do you think there is no huge corporations by black people?
I mean, okay.
I feel like I wasn't. This is just a question.
I wasn't deep signing at you. I just deep signed because I feel like
yeah.
I do have. I'm sure people are tired of me talking about race every week, but
we're the culture. But go ahead.
I mean, I think it's a systematic thing. I think we're just not like we haven't caught up to that wave yet. We're getting there. Like we're for sure present in a few industries, but it's just gonna take. I think our generation will be the generation that starts us on that corporation track. Like we're for sure getting there.
Now, this is my question. Do you think we'll ever fully get there? Because this is my thing. We have people like Jay-Z. We have people like Diddy. We have people like Oprah. We have people like the Obamas. We got people that are wealthy. But it's like, I feel like there's something like that prohibits them from, because they can easily get together and come up with something dope. They can just at least come up with an idea together to make it dope. But I don't think it's going to automatically, I don't think it's going to get there. Why? Because the dollar is still a systematic thing. The dollar, we got to come up with a new trading system or something.
Well, I mean,
in my opinion, or a currency system or something like that.
Yeah, you have to. We're gonna have to figure out some new things for sure.
Yeah,
and just change things up, and that's how you get ahead. Sometimes you can't get ahead if you're trying to run a race that you're already behind it. If you change the game up completely, then of course you have a better chance of, leveling the playing field. But those people that you were naming are involved in like big corporations. Like we're getting there. Like I don't think it's involved. I don't think it's a stretch.
But we don't own the shit.
We got own network. You got Tidal.
Still, but they
got Revolt.
They're not owning ABC. They're not owning all the bigger.
I mean, those things are there though.
General Mills, all the stuff that are like completely huge and running and shit.
But like
we're not like under this system. I don't give a damn if you have $1 trillion. As long as you a nigga, you ain't gonna get that shit.
But like you said, we're getting away from the times where owning those, we're changing the race, like you said earlier.
Yeah.
We're getting away from the times where those general broadcast channels are the only things that matter.
I agree with that.
Nobody's watching that shit. Everything's online. So if they're having to start and create their online platform at the same time we're starting off creating ours, they still have more resources than you have because they've been doing this for years and they, have built up their brand. But I mean, they're still starting just like you're starting. Correct, so I mean, I don't know. I feel like we're a lot closer.
We've definitely made a lot of progress. Yeah. Don't get me wrong. I don't want to position it like I'm.
No,
like
I get it.
You know what I'm saying? It's just like, cause we're the dopest fucking human beings on this earth.
Ain't nobody like.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, bro, like we can. It's crazy. Like with so much shit, with so much crazy stuff going on. I need to stop cussing. So much crazy stuff going on, man. It's like.
I'm not really worried about us from that perspective. I just hope that we start translating it to our smaller businesses. Because they're terrible. They're fucking terrible.
Are all of them terrible?
I mean, 75% of them are awful. Okay. I mean, it's ridiculous. Like,
I get what you're saying.
Like I try, and I'm that person that try. Like I legit, the day that
I went to a Knockout Wings on Monday and they were closed one time. I'm like, what is going on?
Like, bro,
it might be some inside
that's a stretch. That's a stretch. That was a stretch, but I was just that was a stretch. But it's like,
the day, not the day. I keep saying the day, but it was a period of time when, and I think they're still pushing it when Killer Mike and what's my girl's name, Angela Rye, they're pushing the Banking Black. Got me gassed up. Angela, light-skinned Angela with the good edges. She done came
with the good edges.
Get the fuck out of here. She done came on there with Charlamagne and was going ham, gassed me up. I already knew I was coming back to the Ville for the weekend. I was like, I'm gonna hit Citizens Bank on Jefferson. Open your account. It's gonna be lit.
So what happened?
I came inside Citizen. I was in line. It was 3 of us, including the person at the desk. I stayed in line for 35 minutes.
Oh my goodness.
That's crazy.
Bruh, and while I was doing that, there was somebody at the window. Nobody drove by the whole time I was there. Nobody came through the drive-thru. And somebody else was just like back there, just walking around, doing things I'm sure they had to do. But I'm just like, clearly.
Bro, you see 3 people.
You see us.
Yeah.
Just turned around and walked away. I said, you know what? I there's a lot of things in life we can play with. My money's not gonna be one of them. Like I'm never gonna need to come and get some, because they don't even have an ATM. I don't think, do they? They do. Okay. I didn't know if they had an ATM. I was like, I'm not gonna need to get $50 real quick and, and be playing with y'all.
You know who blew me? Like, there's a huge advocate for black people. Dr. Umar Johnson.
I mean,
he fucking blew me. Because I'm like, man, you know what? I'm like, this school idea sounds amazing. Nigga, it was 2012, nigga. Where's the fucking school? Where's the school? And you were trying to raise $250,000.
Is that all he was trying to get to start a college?
No, it wasn't a college. It was like a trade or agricultural black school. Yeah, charter school.
I remember him talking about that, and if I had heard the number, I would have known he was full of shit. There's no way you can start a school system with $250,000.
System.
Yeah, with $250,000, completely different from everything. $2 million.
Fuck off.
Was it $2 million? Oh, my bad. $2
million is more reasonable, because I was like, a whole school system, because it wasn't that he was going to open a whole network of schools. What he was doing was unheard of. Like, basically, he was taking kids and taking them out to a rural area, away from everything. He was going to take all their phones, the internet, disconnect them from everything. They were going to learn how to work the land. Like a
cult, low key, by the way.
Okay.
But I'm just like, you can't just up and do that. But I mean,
okay, Jim Jones, get the fuck out of here.
He's.
I know.
I don't like extremists. I don't like extremists.
Exactly.
That's what it is.
Either way.
That's exactly what it is. That's exactly what it's like, bro. You just about as bad.
He used to say some iffy shit, and I just couldn't fuck with it.
Yeah, and then I mean, his stance
really
on homosexuals is ridiculous.
Sister, where's your degree? Where's it from? Is it legit?
I can fact check.
Please fact check, because I still don't know.
I think he has a PhD.
I'm about to fact check now. Don't even trip. Sir MacBook is about to let me know.
I also have a PhD in bullshit. Really? Like what?
I'm also a doctor. But I mean, yeah, I just don't like people who are extremists either way. Like, of course, I can probably, resonate with him a little more, obviously, because I can understand kind of where he's coming from. But dude just is like, it's just too much for me, bro. Like, you gotta relax sometimes.
I'm trying to figure out what website is a reliable source on this shit.
So I still feel a way that the teachers told me Wikipedia wasn't a reliable source.
Was not a reliable source?
Because Wikipedia be holding it down.
they do be saying something.
Have you seen Beyonce's Wikipedia page?
Well,
somebody put some time and effort into that one.
That's what I mean. So I do remember when it was ridiculous. Like,
I too.
Yeah, where you could just go in there and just type anything.
You can still do that.
Quick question.
I feel like there's
is Huffington Post a reliable source?
Yeah, hell yeah.
Okay, all right, keep going. My bad.
I feel like there's a lot of checks and balances now on there. I feel like you can't just go in there and put some wild shit. Maybe for a few seconds or something, but I feel like it gets cleared up pretty quickly. And they update fast as shit.
Yeah.
They update immediately. Like, they hadn't even given the Eagles last year when they won the Super Bowl. They didn't even have the trophy yet. It was updated on Wikipedia.
I don't even think Aretha's body was cold yet before she had passed.
I mean, they couldn't wait till the end of the funeral. That shit was going to take way too long.
Good Lord.
I mean, they just be going crazy. When I tell you, I wish y'all could see how deep Crunch is on this research.
He is searching, okay?
Are you looking for? Is he
the
looking
fact that he has to search that hard?
I mean, you got to look for them degrees. I mean,
child.
It's saying something about him, like, legitimately.
I think he has a PhD or something.
Yeah, have a PhD as a psychologist. So
I remember he had a scandal where, like,
which one?
So he was
about the stripper chick.
Yeah. I mean, he took it head on. He was like, I mean, I'm single. And
like,
what happened?
I don't know. Like,
I mean,
the accusation of him having a baby by or something.
So, okay, all right. So we're at a crossroads right now where I could tell you, I could stop the podcast and look it up and factually give it to you. Or I could just get in my bag and, creatively put it together. And that's what I'm going to do. So, allegedly, there was like a stripper that he was messing with. And she tried to, like, put her kid on him. But her kid, I think, was like 10. And he was like, I mean, no, it's not my child. And I'm single. So, if I go to Magic City or King of Diamonds, that's what it is. Like, he ain't had no shame in it. He just was like, yeah, next question.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I guess that's what he's on. And that's, I don't know, that may be a factor in what's holding up the school.
It's still fuck that nigga.
I mean.
I don't say it again.
It's still fuck that nigga.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Have you heard his stances on homosexuality?
Oh, man.
He's like.
He is gross.
Bro, he's like harsh. Like,
yeah.
And I'm just like.
Phobia. Homophobe.
Bro, he basically has, like I said, an extremist. He basically feels like all of the issues in the black community root from the black man. So, I mean, any issues with black women or anything else that's going on is because of the black man. They're just a reaction to what's going on with us. And I'm like, yeah, that's probably a little problematic too, I mean, he does, and I won't pretend like he doesn't make some good cases.
He makes some good, I'm about to say, he does make some good points.
I won't pretend he doesn't, but it's just, I just can't get with, like, you can't speak in absolutes.
And that's the problem.
Yeah.
And that's the problem.
And when he's asked about absolutes, like, hey, well, there's exception. He's kind of dismissive, like,
quick.
Yeah, it's not that,
narrative automatically changes.
Yeah, and so I'm just like
100%.
I can't really rock with him.
Do it.
Yeah, that extreme and shit. But it's just like any hotep, really. I don't really fuck with them.
Yeah, that's
because it's
so
like,
extreme.
bro, like at the end of the day, of course, I understand the oppression of our people, right? But let's get past the systematic shit. Like at the end of the day, we're all human beings. You feel me? But at the same time, for black folks, we do have to take care of home.
Yeah,
first.
You can't
Right.
be oblivious. You can't be oblivious.
Right.
Yeah, 100%.
Like
you know what I'm saying?
I feel like you can't. I know a lot of people are gonna disagree with this, but I feel like you can't be those people who are like, segregation was actually good. At least we knew what we had. And I'm like, all right, let's chill. We want equality because we feel like we should all be treated, with the same love and compassion for one another. And if you feel that way, you gotta have to, it has to be a two-way streak. You can't be like, yeah, love my brothers, fuck the white devil. Like, I mean, you gonna have your moments where you angry at the system and the way things happen. But like, you gotta be able to embrace people. Like, I don't, and I mean, I know for a lot of people, just like it is with white people, a lot of times people just don't have exposure to people. Like, I have homies who just don't, like, who aren't familiar with white people. Right. And so it's the same way some white people are, like, I experienced that at work. Where like, there'll be people at work who be like, Blake, you're really cool for a black guy. And when I tell you, like, anytime I try and explain that to somebody, they just are like, did you turn the fuck up?
Okay.
And I'm like, and I'm just like, okay. And I'm just like, I really have to sit that person and explain to them why they can't say that. Cause I was like, I know, like, wholeheartedly, they meant that as a compliment. And they really just didn't understand it. I'm like, bro, it's really people like that who don't have the experiences that we have where you grew up with some white people and they had the, opportunity to grow up with some black people and really, just grow to understand and know each other.
That's a good point you bring up because we live in a very, like, reactionary, like, society, bro. It's like, whatever you see on the surface, motherfuckers automatically turn up. Like, for instance, social media, right? It's like people automatically see something and then just like, bruh, fuck them. Like,
social media is the craziest shit in the world.
It is 100%.
It's like crack.
Have you guys used the new iOS 12 feature where you like have a time limit on social media or a screen time limit on social media?
Like what you look at and like evaluate like what you use.
So I have it set up on mine to where 2 hours of social media a day. And what it does is when it gets to, I need to change it because it doesn't tell me until 5 minutes before it's like, you have 5 minutes left. And I'm like, damn.
I
like,
don't use my 2 hours.
You couldn't
now.
give me an hour warning or nothing. And so like from then on, it's like when you click on, like for one, your notifications, you don't get any notifications.
That's kind of lit on the low.
I mean, it's dope, but I realized through doing this, I'm addicted to my phone for sure.
Look, I'm holding.
Yeah, like I mean,
I'm around phones every day, so I'm definitely addicted to my phone.
It's awful. Like I'm trying to work on it, and I mean that thing that the feature that Apple added is, I mean, it's helping. It's annoying as shit because I end up turning it off for the day every time. But I'm at least aware. Like, damn, like you've been on your phone for 3 hours, not on your phone, but on social media for 3 hours, and it's noon. Like,
Speaking of extremists, like I ain't gonna say I hate is such an extreme word. I said I don't like extreme, but I use an extreme word. So I dislike like when people take like like certain quotes and just like make it law. So for instance, like if a nigga ain't doing this, he ain't a real man. Or if a woman ain't doing this, she ain't a real woman. It's like, what in the toxic relationship have you know what I'm saying, taken part of to say some shit like that? And it don't be realistic.
It's never real shit ever.
It's never realistic.
The fact that people say stuff like that on social media and really think it's the end all be all. I'm always surprised when people say it but at the end of the day, that's how they feel and that makes sense. What's crazier is when people argue it, and they're not arguing it because they disagree it. They argue because they believe that, I guess that could be fact. Like, they feel like they're really defending, that quote, like, that can't go down as law. I have to stop you. Yeah. And then they engage in these, like, super passionate arguments. I'm like, bro, you don't even know this person.
Man. I go to the shade room strictly for the comment section. Just to read to see what these
wrong with those people in there.
I'm like, you would type a whole paragraph as tall as this computer screen and say nothing. And then mean nothing too. Like, and then you're under somebody else's post doing. I'm like, how much time in a day did you really invest?
Why do you care so much?
Yes. Especially about somebody else's life. Like,
about a post
shit is crazy.
on Instagram.
100%.
Bro, the most ignorance goes to Facebook to die.
Oh my goodness.
I'm hardly on Facebook. I'm hardly ever on Facebook.
So I got off of Facebook I'm still on Facebook, but I'm never like actually on there because there's no reason to be active on Facebook. Like if my mom is on there and my mom is in my timeline, that's not where I should be. It's just what that means. And so I don't really get on there, but more recently people have been sending me links to like stuff on Facebook. And bro, just the shit you see
Facebook is a wild place.
Bro, I seen a dude with a pet, I think it was a pet raccoon on there. And I'm just like, bro, what are you doing?
How?
Like,
how did we get here?
It's just everything going there is just like, this is terrible.
Some people will even exploit their children to go viral.
Just some people. That is the regular.
That's the regular.
Listen,
One in every 5 children
crazy.
is exploited by their parents. Like that is
like,
regular.
saying
now.
some shit they ain't got no business saying,
Oh,
doing some
man.
shit they ain't got no business doing.
Yes.
It make me want to pop both of them in the mouth. I'm like, come on.
Facebook is literally just, and it's either an amazing life achievement or endeavor or milestone, or some bullshit. Like that's the only two things it could be on Facebook.
Yeah. And then people taking trips 3 months earlier but posting them like right now. I think that may have just happened, by the way, on my timeline. But I'm not gonna. What were you saying?
I don't pay enough attention. I really didn't. This sounds so naive, but I really didn't process that was a thing until Drake
said that shit.
Drake said it, and it became like a discussion on
For
timelines
real.
that people will take pictures and only post like these days of the pictures now and save these days for later to pretend like they're still on a different trip now.
Yeah. That shit is crazy, ain't it?
That shit is difficult. Like
like the process of you
It's
thinking
well
to do some shit
calculated.
like that.
Like, why would you do that?
I don't
You
know.
sitting
It's
at home
fake.
chilling in your sweats, but on Instagram you're still in Greece. How?
That's crazy.
I can't even imagine the two things that y'all see, because y'all are like, Crunch, you're like an Instagram avant, and Miya, you're like a Twitter avant. And so I'm like, the shit that both of y'all have to see, like, because I'm sure with Crunch, you probably see the most like ridiculous amount of just like flexing and
Oh
stuff.
man, it's amazing. Like it, but it's like something is really wrong with people, bro. Like legit. Like that's why I go see a therapist now, bro. Because it's like, man, Charlamagne the guy posted some of the realest shit the other day.
I'm sure it wasn't that real.
Halfway real.
I don't fuck with Charlamagne like that no
No,
more.
but it was like, man, I go to therapy to deal with people that needs to be in therapy. I'm like, shit. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's very simple. It's very simple. But it's very,
no, I agree with that.
simple.
That
you know
makes
what I'm saying? I go to
sense.
therapy to learn how to deal with people that need to be in therapy.
That's real.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, shit. I'm like, damn, yeah, it makes sense. But at the end of the day, it's like, it's all like people post what they want you to see, correct? So it's like, bro, like, what's really going on? Like, what's really going on? For you to
you're not
feel,
gonna talk about the real.
for you to feel like you have to post, like for instance, a girl may be a little bit overweight now, so she gonna post all of her pictures where she was thinner to make her look like, you know what I'm saying, make it seem
She's
like
still like that.
Exactly.
We can see you.
Like, exactly.
I'm going to see you.
You see what I'm saying? So that type of stuff is like, damn, like your upbringing. I wonder what your upbringing was like. Like, how was your parents towards you, and then how was your grandparents towards your parents? Like that type of shit. That shit is
story.
It's a
To where
cyclical.
you feel
Yeah,
like you
everybody
gotta
has
do
a
this.
backstory. That's what my therapist told me. She was like, look, everybody has a backstory. Like, cause when I went to therapy, so just a quick example, she drew a heart. She drew a heart and she put like a smiley face in it. No, and the smile was like a smirk. And then she said, "Yeah, okay, that heart is you. It's Anton." That's my alarm going off. So don't my alarm said, I'm about to say, yeah. So the heart was me, and then she was like, "Okay, there goes your mom, and then there goes your dad." It said, "Describe your mom to me." So I just gave her all the characteristics of my mom and behaviors of my mom. Then she was like, "Describe your dad," and I gave everything about my dad. She was like, "Okay, maybe because your mom had to deal with this while you were born." She dealt with the anxiety while you were born. That's probably why before you were even conceived, you already had anxiety.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Yeah, man. Oh, man. I almost cried like 3 times. I'm like, that. It was just a whole bunch of stuff that she brought up. Like, but the thing is about that, like, as far as therapy-wise, I don't go to therapy to just get answers for stuff. Why am I like this? It's all about you actively searching or actively asking yourself questions in order for you to grow. So with me going in, if I'm going to be closed off, I'm wasting my money going.
Basically.
You see what I'm saying? But if you go to therapy being like try to be an open book and be completely vulnerable and honest, that's where you can find growth within yourself. Because honestly, we all have the answers within ourselves. But it also helps to have a mirror too. You see what I'm saying?
I struggle with therapy, and so it's become like a wave, the mental health thing, which I'm not shitting on at all. I think that's pretty dope. It does, I will say it gets annoying on social media at times.
Yeah.
But I mean, in general, I'm really here for it. But I just have always struggled with the concept of therapy because, and what you just said directly addresses that, but I've always just seen it as like, how can I go into this room and talk to you and address the issues that I have with other people if they're not here too. Like, you're just gonna get things from my perspective. Of course, it's gonna make sense. Like, you're gonna ask me the questions, but you're never gonna have any more information than what I already feel or what I think about the situation. And I just always kind of thought that was weird. It just seemed like therapy just always seemed incomplete to me. And it just seemed like if I found a way to review my thoughts or discuss them with myself or think about them, or even if I, just wrote stuff out, I always just found that to like, I don't know, I just found that to be more therapeutic to me. Not that I said found it to be more, but I've never actually done therapy to even compare it.
Yeah, well, that's a stigma. I mean, that's a stigma for it, right? Like, that's a stigma for it. Like I said, I typically do it, just not to place on like a personal level, but it's just like, I don't find myself to be above it. Really, it's just more of an experiment thing. Because I can write raps all day, I can write all day, I can pray all day, but for me, it's just for somebody to regurgitate, to actively listen and regurgitate what I already said actually helps me out. That's pretty much what it is, and then actually have a different perspective that at least seems logical, right?
Right. Yeah. I can be on Twitter tweeting funny shit all day, but inside, if I'm not well, then it's not the same. Mm-hmm. I feel like talking to a professional personally, it's helped me because, I don't know, I think I needed that. I don't think I could get it from anywhere else. So it was, I don't know, man. I just needed that.
So y'all both feel like therapy has been like huge for y'all. Like,
100%. 100%. Because the thing is, you're like, bro, I can't just be like, go to my dad and ask shit whenever he's dealing with shit too.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Or ask my mama shit.
Right.
And then or ask my granny shit and she done been through shit. And not saying that the therapists haven't been through it. Exactly. It's just that they've been trained to be more even keel about it and actively listen without having feelings toward that. It's well,
kind of like a mediator.
More of a mediating type vibe. You know,
from the outside looking in, being able to help.
How was y'all's trust with that? Like, was it weird just going in there and being like,
you gotta, like I said, you gotta go in being completely naked, bro. No, like metaphorically, like being completely like just knowing I'm about to give information that I wouldn't give to anybody else, and being completely comfortable with that.
Because I'm so closed off, it was really hard for me.
That's how it be.
I barely even like hugging my family, so it was no, seriously. But it was hard for me, and I think she was able to identify with that, so she met me where I was. And that helped me open up more. And I'm just like, all right, girl, what's up? Yeah. Let's talk about this shit today. Let's talk about it so I don't kill nobody, metaphorically.
And see, that's what I see. You asked me this, and if you were to ask me the same question like a year or two ago, I'm like, nah, man, fuck that shit.
Right.
But now that I'm reaching a stage where I truly just want to improve as an individual, it's like, shit, why am I even holding on to harboring this shit, bro? Like, it's okay to be vulnerable. It's not the end of the world. It's okay because everybody goes through shit. Mm-hmm. So it's like, it's okay to admit that and then accept your flaws and actually try to improve on them. You know what I'm saying? So that was just a major step for me to actually go forth and like, look, I'm about to tell you a whole bunch of shit. You know what I'm saying? Just about me, my fears and all this shit that I wouldn't even tell a chick right now, which is fucked up. But I got to be able to, in order for me to climb that hurdle, I got to be able to be comfortable with myself in order to do that.
Because shit is draining. Life is draining. Yeah. Social media, it is draining. Man. Everything drains the fuck out of you. And so you need to let go. You need not hold that in because that's where it gets a little tricky.
I might have to mess with that because like you were saying, I don't know that, like I struggle to sit down and talk to people about things, and I'm not particularly just great with my words, but I've never had a hard time expressing myself.
Bro, you're great. Like, from like you being my brother, like you articulate out of our group, out of our core group, you articulate your thoughts the best.
Well,
like in my particular opinion, or not even just comparing our group, but it's just like whenever I listen to you articulate your thoughts, it's like right on the money, and it's very direct too. Like me, I try to think of words where it's like, bro, what the fuck are you trying to say? Say the shit. That's me. But it's like with you though, you be like, man, look, boom, boom, boom. That's it. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, yeah, Yeah, that's it.
Well, I appreciate that, but I still and I've heard that from multiple people, but I still feel like I struggle. I feel like I don't have a lot of things that I hold super close to me in like expressing. Like in general, I'm an open book. But the few things that few thoughts or feelings that I hold near and dear, I have a hard time expressing. And so the thought of sitting down with somebody I don't know and just here's everything, blah, blah, blah. And so, I mean, because that's just never been an option to me, I found different things like this, doing this podcast, bro, it's been huge. Like,
that's great though.
Yeah.
Because I mean, for me, I've always been like my friends that I grew up with, we've all been friends since we were children.
Facts.
And then in college, not day one, because they were on one. But from about second semester on of my freshman year, I've been boys with people, and we, a lot of us, mostly me, stayed in school forever. So we've been friends for so long. Like, I'm so used to having like a circle of friends around me and just talking, small talk, blah, 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 talking about real stuff. It just came so natural. So now that we've gotten older and everybody's moved away, and your conversations are like group me and group messages where you just really just shooting this shit and posting in social media. Like, you don't talk. Like, and so you realize, like, when you start talking to people now, like I have, and just having real conversations, you realize how much you miss in the sense that, like, you, like, I talk to Miya probably every day on Twitter. I talk to you every day on a group message.
Yeah.
Just about, I talk to Nate B and AC who've been on the podcast. I'm in a group message with them. I'm in a group message with Woods, and I talk to Darius every day, probably on Twitter as well. Every one of you guys that I've sat down and had conversations with, I've learned something different or took on a different perspective from everybody and just been like, damn, we talk every day, but don't say anything. Right. Because you're not really having conversations. Boy, like,
you better preach.
Like, Miya just said she barely hug her family. First thing I do every time I see Miya is hug. I'm like, damn, you don't even like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just don't know stuff like that because you don't really talk to people. Like, you just shoot the shit. And like it's just weird. But having real conversations, I can tell instantly, like, I know my fiance, like, has dealt with me just having a stick up my ass, like, for no reason some day, because I'm used to just laughing and playing half the day with my friends, like, for 15 years. And then one day you just go to work every day, come home, do it again. Like, if you don't take the time to really do something, that means something to you every day, like, that shit is scary.
Man, let me tell you, like, because I've been on a journey as far as, like, losing weight and actually trying to focus on, like, I guess, finding what my purpose is in my life. Well, I know my purpose is to share my talent with the world, or whatever my talents are, like, with the kids. That's why I went to go talk to kids today, and I talked to kids last week. Just being, like, surrendering myself for getting out of my own way and let God use me as a vessel. So I read this book called The 15 Invaluable Laws of Growth. Man, dude, when I say, like, and it's by John C. Maxwell, I just listen, really, I'm illiterate, so I really listen to the audio book in my car on the way to Atlanta.
Come on.
But the thing is, though, it's like, man, whenever, like, I was listening to it, he was saying a whole bunch of stuff that I identified with. Now, I don't know, he could have been running game on me, you know what I'm saying? Because it's a bestseller, so it's like, dang, a lot of people have probably read this. But to actually actively apply it, like, ever since I've been actively applying it, I'm starting to see, like, changes through it, like, just not even only through my faith alone, but through my behaviors. And then a lot of stuff has been revealed to me. So that's why I'm like, right now, this is a blessing. Like, this is church right now, because whenever we all come together for a purpose, for God, this is all God's purpose, because we're sharing this with the world. But it's like, you come together in a purpose, like, this is all a blessing. And you find, like, instead of getting upset in moments wherever, like, you have tribulation come your way, you find opportunities for growth. You take time to breathe, right? Like, breathing is a natural healer. That's what my therapist told me. Like, breathing, bro, like, is a natural healer, bro. That's, man, it's crazy. I have
breathing exercises right next to my desk at work.
It's wonderful.
To help with stress, to help with relaxation, because if I don't, I'm going to flip over a table, and nobody needs to see that.
Yeah.
So it's a good coping mechanism.
I saw you had an Apple Watch. Do you have one?
The Apple Watch.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
No,
when it rains. Yeah, when it rains.
I just have skin.
The breathing. I do it all the time, bro.
I ignored it for months.
I did too.
So I ignored
did
it
too,
for
especially
months.
on my series one.
It's like, it's time to breathe. I'm like, shut the fuck.
Yeah.
And so one day I think I was either on a flight or something. I was bored and I did it. And I was like,
You feel decent enough.
Deep breathing shouldn't do this. Like I shouldn't feel like I breathe all day.
But imagine like whenever you're upset, like your breath, you start holding your breath.
Exactly.
I'm like, holy shit, like.
But
like,
if you sit there and breathe, you're going to
you
calm
gonna be
down.
straight. Yeah, it's like,
you're gonna
damn.
think clearly.
Breathing is underestimated.
It was two things that I learned, and I don't want to say when, but it was too recent to talk about, that I just didn't realize like had such a strong effect in it. But one was the breathing, and then being at work sometimes. Not even like, of course, going for a walk makes you feel better, but just the sun.
Oh, yeah.
Like I didn't know, like, it sounds crazy to say out loud, but I didn't know just really going out in the sun for a second just really recharges you and refreshes you like that.
Yeah.
And it just sounds like all the stuff your mom or
Yeah,
like everybody
cliche and all that shit, mythological.
But that shit is true.
It's so
Get
real.
out of that. Like for lunch, if I sit at my desk at lunch, no, I cannot do that. I have to go somewhere. And it's not like spending money or something. I cannot be at my desk because I need that hour for myself. I mean, I might sit with my work aunties. I might sit with somebody else. But I cannot be at that desk because I'm going to be tempted to either, one, do work, or two, just be in that mindset of work. And I don't need that.
Right.
I need to rest.
Yes, certainly. That is
and
so
I take
important.
them 15s, okay?
And I need to start doing better. Yeah,
I didn't even know we got 15s.
2 15s an hour.
Yeah, I didn't even know that.
Where do you work?
For the state.
That's like the
we
norm,
do the
though.
same thing, though. Yeah.
That's like, I think that's like
you do that too?
Yeah, I think that's like
hour 2:15s?
a regulation.
It
Man,
should
cause
be,
boy,
because
working for $29.30.
Listen,
God, dog. Like,
no, give me my breaks,
man,
or you gonna get broke.
Yeah,
but
I'm serious.
But you know, like in my job, so our work is contractor work.
Okay, yeah.
So, I mean, our office is open 24/7. Like, people at my job literally like, oh, I couldn't sleep, so I came in. And I just don't know how to live like that. Like, I'm sure the money's great, but it's nothing for somebody. If I was like randomly at 4 o'clock in the morning, oh, I forgot something on my desk, I'm going to go grab it real quick. There's going to be people in there working, for sure, like, without a doubt. And it's just like, bro, I don't know how y'all live like that.
Bro,
like,
it's like you.
That shit terrifies me.
I'm like, God, I mean, you're a zombie in this motherfucker. There's literally people that's worked at my job because I'm like, I can't get a better schedule because these people that's been working here for 10, 15 years will not quit. I'm like, God, like, quit so I can get a better. I want to work just for Monday to Friday and have my weekends off. But yeah, it's like, dang, like, y'all really like love this. And I can't even be mad at you. Like, if that's what you want to do, that's it. You know what I'm saying? But I'm like, man, it's like, I know now for sure that I have a bigger purpose. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know, like, for sure now.
Like, it might not be right now, but it's coming. Yeah. And the fact that you acknowledged it makes it even, it's going to be even sweeter.
You know what's so crazy? It's like being actively present in the moment. And people don't even realize what that means. It's like, okay, yeah, I'm here active and I'm present. It's like mentally, spiritually, it's like being intentional in the moment, in each and every moment.
What a word, intention.
Yeah,
hello,
100%.
Hello.
Yeah, that's very important. That's very, very, very important.
That's something I learned in college is really doing things for a purpose. Like, there's a real reason you're doing it, and that's the only reason you're doing it, not to just go through the motions. And that's when people talk about their passions, that's one thing that scares me because I have no clue what my passion is. None. Literally none.
Yeah.
Bro, like, you do well at this.
Right.
This is cool and I enjoy it. Passion? Like, no. I enjoy, so the part I enjoy the most is like sitting down and talking to people like y'all, like people I like my friends, people that inspire me and I think are cool. But after this, like you seen last week's podcast came out on Tuesday. It was supposed to be out on Monday. You know why? Because there wasn't a fire in my belly to go edit. It's not my passion.
So you tell me Nori invites you to Drink Champs and like you're gonna be permanently part of Drink Champs. You're not gonna take that opportunity.
I would love that opportunity. I think it'd be fun, but I don't think I don't think I would be
like Jesse Staggett. I'm gonna wake up in the morning. I'm doing this shit. I love it. What would you do for free? Pretty much nothing. But
yeah, I was gonna say. I mean, okay. So Noriega and the people that he has on there, it just seems like an amazing environment, and it would be really cool. But I don't think I would be touching people or inspiring people the way I would want to. And I always knew I didn't have anything I knew I wanted to do the rest of my life. But if you've ever seen that passion chart where it's like, I'm going to mess it up. But it's basically a chart, and it tells you the different things that make up what your passion is. And so if certain things overlap, they're actually, this or whatever it describes. And it tells you all of these things make up what you're actually passionate about.
Now, what's so crazy? I've always had trouble being like completely honest on those little charts and stuff. Like I can sit in person and like tell people like, look, this one I'm fucked up. You know what I'm saying? I can do that. But it's like looking at charts, it's like, damn, it's like taking a multiple choice test. Like,
See.
I can't, because it's like I'm not like, I don't see the world. And I may be fucked up, but it's like I don't see the world as a black and white thing. Mm-hmm. And a lot of stuff that's written on paper is presented as such. So it's like, okay, I like that, but it's just some parts of this I like too. So I can't really come up with an answer. But you know what? I'll just pick C. And then once I get to the results, I'm like, nah, that's not the shit I want to do. You see what I'm saying? So I've always had trouble with that. Even like before we took the PSAT and shit in what 10th grade,
whenever that is,
they give us project like what we would want to do. I'm like, fuck no, I'm going to the league.
This ain't got nothing
to do with basketball. Nothing to do with that.
See.
Yeah, right.
I don't like that. That's how the personality test is set up, because it's just like like I don't feel like I'm being honest, but for some reason it's just like. Life isn't that simple. Like, there's not a multiple choice answer isn't always going to perfectly describe
exactly
how I feel about
everything is in black and white.
100%.
But I did find that chart I was looking for, and it's not passion that's the center of it. Okay. It's your purpose. And so the purpose is the center, and it's where everything meets. And the four, I guess, bigger circles are: you are great at it, you love it, the world needs it, and you're paid for it. And so if you're great at it and you love it, it's your passion. If you love it and the world needs it, it's your mission. And if the world needs it and you're paid for it, it's a vocation. And then if you are great at it and you're paid for it, it's a profession. And so basically,
that's low key though.
Yeah, and basically your purpose is the combination of your passion, your mission, vocation, and your profession. And so something like Nori's podcast, it seems dope.
Yeah.
But that would be more of like not vocation, because I ain't really helping nobody. Or the world don't need drink champs. Like, it's cool.
Right.
But it would be more like your passion. Oh, I guess that is. No, it's not even my passion. I just love it. And it's just fun. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, I don't know. Finding your purpose, that just scares me.
Is that chart, is that online? Is that online?
We had so much going on.
Is that online? Or
yeah. I'll send you.
Y'all gonna have to send me. Y'all both need to send me them links. But I'll do that. I'll do that tonight. But see, like, that's the type of stuff that you need to discuss on dates and shit. Like, it
is. But
it is. Okay, it would be a good conversation.
Okay. Yeah, because it's like, that's why I'm tired of be like, okay, what
what's
do you like
your favorite
to do?
color?
That's some bullshit, ain't it? Like,
I always end up asking.
I don't really care enough about your fucking favorite color.
I always ask weird questions to get them started.
Will Smith said some cold shit on his. You look at the Rap Radar podcast with him and Elliot Wilson.
I haven't watched the full. Bro. I don't have Tidal.
No. It's on YouTube. It's on YouTube now.
Oh really? No.
Yeah. It's on YouTube. Bro, he said some dope. Like, he said some cold shit, bro. It was like, you remember, Ruby D? She recently passed.
Where would I know? Where would I know her?
What she on Trinity Temptations too? Ruby D. So she one of the OG actresses, like
Ruby D.
Yeah.
Ruby D. Stop playing.
Nah, but Will Smith, him and Jada was going through it. They've been married for 17 years up to this point. Yes, what I'm about to discuss. Perfect. They had been married for 17 years, and Ruby D, she asked Jada, she was like, how long have y'all been married?
Wait, I'm sorry. Hold on. Who is Ruby D again? Did we ever?
You know Ruby D. She's been in a lot of Spike Lee films. She was married to Ossie Davis.
Married to Ossie Davis, yeah.
Oh, married to Ossie Davis. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah,
Good.
okay.
Wow,
Okay.
what the
Yeah,
fuck?
cool.
How did you not know her by name?
Okay, so now, so Ruby asked Jada, like, how long have you guys been married? And she was like, for 17 years. She was like, girl, you don't even know him yet. And I'm like, damn, like, for somebody to be married almost 20 years and you don't know that person, it speaks to, like, we're constantly evolving and constantly, like, discovering and learning people every day. You know what I'm saying? So you just can't, like, just jump to conclusions on what you think a person should be, like, in this, in the particular process.
Do you think a lot of people jump the gun with trying to get to know another person?
That's a great question. I think that's a relative, like, because everybody's different in how you obtain, like, certain information and perceive things, right? So if you're completely an open book, then you may be able to take on some stuff at more of a rapid pace than somebody else. I don't know.
Everybody ain't no open book though.
Yeah.
But I think really at our age that's an issue. I think during your mid to late 20s, if you're not in a serious relationship, and I mean it's easy for me to say this as somebody who's in a relationship, I would stop dating and I would just focus on, growing and building myself. Yep. Because I think when you're in your mid to late 20s, that's a hot age for people to get married and engaged and have kids and blah, blah, blah.
Yep.
And so people are so desperate. And a lot of it isn't like people aren't consciously doing it. But I think people are so focused on I need to get married, I need to have this, I need to have that there's just, it's not sincere. And I genuinely don't think people are doing it on purpose, but I just think you have that outside pressure of the world and what you're seeing your peers do that you're just focused on that. And so I see people like
it's like pressure.
Bro, I've heard some like I've always had a hell of, platonic homegirls, as both of you can attest to. And I'm really good at, keeping like categories separate. Like if you're my homie, you're my homie. I don't mess with you like that. And if I mess with you, I mess with you. You probably not the homie. And I've always been pretty good there with, the occasional incident. But I've always been able to plug people into each other. Like, oh, I think you would be cool and you would be cool together. Like, y'all should hang out. And sometimes, especially now, the conversations you hear that like people have had, like, I might have a homeboy who's, more of a partier and a homegirl who's a partier. I'll put y'all together. And then I'll hear like, he'll come back and be like, yeah, man, she was asking me about life and, just about, all these adventures. And I was like, she doesn't care about those things typically. Like, it's just people are just faking it and saying stuff because they like, it's just not sincere. Like, you're just not speaking what you care about. You're not being yourself. Like, it's just people are just trying to get, into this serious relationship because that's what they feel like they're supposed to do and they're behind.
Yep.
And I feel like if you can just get past this hot moment right now where everybody's doing that, and then get to a stage where you can be real again, where I just think people would have a lot better situations.
Take your time.
1,000%.
That's definitely from the outside speaking in though. So like,
you're
somebody's
on the money.
Listen,
there's for sure somebody listening.
The money,
you're on
smack
the
dead
money.
on it.
You're on the money, sir.
People definitely do that.
I'm like, damn. Like,
often.
Boy, all these engagements I see, I'm like, God damn.
And at first, like, when that first wave, I think I was maybe like 22 or something, I was like, damn, why am I not in a serious relationship? Why am I not? And then I was like, well, why the fuck am I questioning myself? Why do I think I'm not good enough for these things? It's just not my time yet. And that's okay.
That is perfectly fine.
Because you can do what you're doing, but you can't do what I'm doing because you're not me, I'm not you.
There you go.
Again,
Preach
it's okay.
Now.
You're at that level in your life where it's time for you to do that. And I wish you the best in that. However, that just ain't my ministry right now.
But we have been on some heavy stuff for a little minute now. I was going to lighten the mood a little bit.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Homecoming season is swiftly approaching.
Gang.
What homecoming? I mean, I for sure know a few that we're hitting, but what homecomings y'all plan on hitting?
I want to hit Tuskegee because I've never been.
You didn't come.
You missing out.
I know. I missed out the prime. Like whenever you were still in school, I missed out because I was playing ball.
Oh yeah.
Man, but I missed that. I missed UTs.
Like
Grab that light-skinned nigga in a denim jacket. Do you remember that?
Let's relax, okay? Let's relax.
all
Thank
that
you.
No. It was about Mo's. It wasn't. I ain't calling you out for none of your thirstiness.
I'm dead.
We went to that. I'm not gonna say what kind of party it was, but we went to that party.
A stripper party.
In a dorm room.
It was an apartment.
An apartment. On campus.
I didn't know what was happening. Listen,
The strippers were twerking. The strippers were twerking on SpongeBob SquarePants towels and stuff. Like, it was a lot going on.
Oh God.
Bro, so like obviously, we
didn't know what we were walking into.
No one knew what we were walking to, and then it really wasn't like they let us come in. I guess just because they were cool people.
I don't think we were supposed.
We
to
definitely
be there.
weren't supposed to be there. It wasn't like an open everybody come through. So we figured this out and we head out. You know who doesn't walk out with everybody?
Joe's Mo.
Joe's Mo been there, in there just in gazing, just in there, just in love.
We had to go back and get it.
I had to yell up the stairs. I was like, "Hey, grab that light skinned nigga in the denim jacket."
Oh my God.
Joe's
Joe's
just really
Mo.
out there just staring, bro. And I'm like, bro, they are clearly on a mission that doesn't involve us, bro.
Best.
Bro, I missed that shit, bro.
Tuskegee's homecoming is
and
different.
it's different when you're an alumni. When you're an alum,
you think it's better?
Well, it's better because you could use the art of finessing that you learn in undergrad to get into these events for free if you want to go to the event.
Like parties.
That too.
Oh, dog. I mean,
it's just different.
So I've been to 2 homecomings. I think I've been to 2 homecomings. The first one, it was really, I mean, it's your first impression, and so it's by far the better one. But I mean, it's just an amazing experience. We got there late.
Y'all showed up at the Yo Gotti concert.
Yo Gotti's performance.
I had just almost gotten into a fight.
We have our bags in our hands at the concert, and it's going crazy.
On a hill, we were outside.
So we didn't walk into the warm up, section, whatever the highest thing Gotti has out at the time is what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, everybody's lit and turned. Me and Mose, we just sitting there chilling. But when I tell you, people start handing us look like y'all got to turn up.
No, seriously.
Like he's like niggas not handing us like cups, like some bottles,
full
cups,
full
bottles.
You're pulling a bottle out of your backpack.
Oh, you can't be sitting here chilling, bruh. And these ain't people we've never met in our lives. And so then shout out to the homie Kirk. We go like Kirk is
shout out Kirk, man.
So Kirk is their homie that we had already met previously.
Yeah.
And we were like, Where's Kirk? And they was like, he been, out all night. And we're like, what you mean? Now we pull up on Kirk. We open the door into the room.
That young man.
It's just brown liquor, is the air. Like there's no oxygen in there. It's literally just the smell of brown liquor. And he is passed the fuck out, like just hurting. And I'm like, damn. Now, this is how you know the power of Tuskegee homecoming is real. He's definitely past that point where you throw up, where you black out. He's hit all of that. Like, he's really hurting.
Like Super Saiyan. Like,
do you know he got back up with us? He woke up that same night. Who does, how do you do? He woke up that same night with us and continued to turn up.
That's not his first go round. It was not his first go round. He knew. He just needed a nap.
When I tell you, it was so. And so that night was lit.
That night.
Oh, there's more.
That's the first
That was the
night.
first night.
So you wake up the next morning and Tuskegee is isolated. It's not like in the heart of a city. It's not like TSU or something.
The middle of nowhere.
We wake up the next morning and everybody and their mama got hella people over there. That between her and Queese, I mean, they got 20 people probably because all the girls are down there. Bro, do you know the entire building came together to make a breakfast?
Oh, that's lit.
Yeah.
Bro, it was so
that's
was
lit.
It was like anything you've ever seen on A Different World or any movie to just showcase, the HBCU.
We used to do that shit a lot
That's
because
hard, though.
we would either be too poor, somebody would have something that the other person would want. So why not all come together, cook up a big thing?
That's a college experience. Fuck NIU's
Bro, right. So before you even turn up for the day, because it's a homecoming.
Nigga. Go ahead.
Well, it's homecoming, so it's homecoming, so Saturday's the day that's going down for real. Before we even go out, we had already met the whole building, and then it's real diversity. Like at your state school, it's gonna be somebody from across the state, and that's diversity. It's real diversity where you meet people from Cali. You looking at people like, why are they talking like that? They from New Orleans or just from everywhere. And so before 10 o'clock, it's already been lit. Like it's bright and early in the morning. And then, I mean, the tailgate, the game, I think y'all were getting smacked, actually.
But the band, I heard the band be
the crowd and the band would have thought you would have thought they were about 40. You would have thought they were up by 40, bro. Like, it's just lit.
All I need to hear is ball and parlay, and that's it.
Bro, it was so loud.
I'm like, but like I think I saw a video like y'all were moving in unison, like.
Bro, it's
almost choreographed.
If you can make it under the shed, you have to have as much energy as everybody else under the shed. I'm gonna repeat that. If you can make it under the shed, because these new kids, I don't think they get it.
They just be standing.
They just be sitting. Some people didn't have that privilege to sit on the edge, but there was a gate there. But if you are able to sit under the shed, you have gotten that privilege to sit under the shed. You need to have as much energy as everybody surrounding you, whether you winning, whether you losing, whether it's sunny or gray. You need to be in there jumping and shit, because it's homecoming. It's a game.
Yeah.
What else do you need? There's nothing else that should be your only reason. You're up. You got up. Probably at 8 o'clock if you're a freshman. But you got up. You showed up there at 8 o'clock and you sat in that section. The game don't even start till like 12, 1. Right. And you've been there that whole time drinking.
You gotta celebrate.
And you sitting down.
Are you bullshit?
Yeah.
Get the fuck out of here. Get your ass up.
Man, like that, like hearing like that type of story makes me wish I went to an HBCU.
I mean, it was pretty.
That's the only thing that I miss about not going to an HBCU is that type of experience.
Well, I think being from Nashville, you have a different perspective on what HBCUs are. Not to shit on nobody, and I'm not like, I don't mean that to go in.
Valid observation.
But it's just, so Tuskegee is in Morehouse. Like, it's a Howard.
Right.
It's a lot of HBCUs that if you visit FAMUs that way too. Sorry. If you visit them, you're like, well, this is very different from my first, impression of what a HBCU is. Because in Nashville, it's different.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Speaking of, are y'all going to TSU homecoming this year?
No. It's the same weekend as Tuskegee's.
Oh, well.
Sorry.
What about you?
Yeah, what were you saying? My bad.
I was thinking.
I'm probably. I mean, I may participate in an event if there is one, but I mean, I'm not.
I love
it's
TSU
not like, bro,
homecoming. I'm not even gonna.
I was gonna say a fish sandwich ain't nothing to play with.
Listen, that parade, them 4 years that I was actually
probably
in the parade, right? But the 4 years that I was actually in the parade when I was in high school, it's different when you're in it than when you're outside.
I believe.
Nah, I ain't gonna lie. If you were in it the 4 years of high school, you slick was missing out.
I know.
Because I was gonna say it wasn't nothing like getting a fit off at the
do you know how hard it
parade.
Is marching down Jefferson Street, smelling all them fish sandwiches and shit, and not being able to get one. All you get is a cold sandwich and hot water from fucking TSU. That sucks.
Bruh, I used to get fits off at the TSU homecoming parade, and then you knew everybody was gonna be there.
Everybody,
man, it used to go down, and that's why when I went, like when I first got in college, I went and I was like, oh, this really was a high school thing, the parade.
Yeah. It's definitely a family event. I know that like Limelight is.
I never go to Limelight during.
Oh, it'd be worth it.
Really, bro. This is my one Limelight.
It's like I could do it for a couple hours, but
this is my one Limelight story for TSU homecoming. I've never been, just because stuff happens. But the 1 year I was down to go, I stood in line with two of the homies who were the biggest like antagonists in the world, and they legit just complained an hour and a half as we did not move.
Don't name drop, but give me a hint.
Oh, no, I'm name dropping. Fuck that.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
Dokes for sure.
Oh, okay, yeah.
In Chicago.
Oh, okay,
when I tell you the two of them complained for an hour and a half, and like, you got to think, you're already in a line knowing you're going to pay $40 to get into a club that you normally go in for free.
Yeah, that is
true. And so you just sit in line.
That's the thing, too.
You already irritated.
I'm not paying $40 to go on the weekend. No. They got me fucked.
Oh, no.
You already irritated, and they just sitting there complaining.
Dokes, 3 T's.
Dokes in Chicago complaining about what people wearing, about us being in line, about the weather. I'm just like, look, ain't nothing I can do for y'all, bro. Like, fuck it, let's just go home. That's the only time I even tried to go.
If possible, I'm never gonna miss a homecoming until I'm
at Tuskegee.
Any homecoming.
I'm trying to go to all of them.
I really would like to. I want to go to Howard. Howard lit.
I've heard that, but I haven't been.
I haven't been either, but I want it. Like, DC is lit off.
Yeah, so I've been to DC and been to Howard, and I went to an event at Howard as well.
But
it wasn't homecoming. What are there any PWI homecomings y'all like mess with tough? I know Miya, you're a little biased. I'm gonna turn over here. PW is predominantly white institution.
Now, boy, Indiana University was lit.
Oh, for real?
Yes, sir. It was lit. That shit was lit. Mark Cuban was at that motherfucker.
Did he go to college there or something?
Yeah, he went there. Okay, so we went to an event. We walked upstairs, nigga, like, he's just sitting in the, you know how they be having the booth, the curve, like booth in the corner. He's sitting in the corner, turning up. I think it was, what song was out at the time? No, I'm trying to think. Mark Cuban was in that motherfucker juking. I'm like, I'm trying to. What was the name of that dead song? It had to be like a Travis Porter song.
Wow.
That's how long ago it was, but it was like, damn, like this nigga billionaire, like sitting right here.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So I'm not traveling out of state for a PWI homecoming.
It has to be worth it.
And the only reason why we went is because one of my Mike West.
Well, you weren't in Tennessee, of course, so it makes different. But I'm saying, like, what PWI do you think?
UT.
UT.
Yeah,
UT.
I was just gonna say,
I wanted to
UT Knox homecoming is stupid.
Yeah,
I haven't been to one.
Oh, UT Knox homecoming is stupid.
I want to go.
Now, well, hold on. Now it's different now because we're older.
Okay. I thought you were saying something.
Now I heard I heard every time y'all went, like, and I was in college, I would be pissed. So and everybody for going and enjoying yourself because I wasn't there.
Our age group is at UT Knox is super lit. Like, all of them are super cool. And they're to the point where a lot of them plan events and stuff. And even the ones who are older than us, they're pretty cool too. So I mean, this UT Knox's homecoming is a good time. And it's the larger one. So that's what I was gonna say. My two homecomings that I'll go to, and I mean, of course, I'm probably a little biased. For like a larger one, you know, a bigger experience, you go to UT Knox. But if you want to go to a homecoming where you're gonna be in a little asshole in the wall, it's not gonna be like extravagant, but you just gonna be lit. Chat homecomings be shaking. I'm not gonna lie.
Well, I think we come to a chat homecoming one time.
I wanna go.
If it was ignorance, it was probably.
Cause that's back when y'all was 12-12.
Oh, now if it was when we had 12-12, it was stupid.
Yeah, I believe so.
I mean, for those that don't know, 12-12. In college, me and
everybody, nigga.
seven. Me and 7 of my friends rented.
Y'all
out
were
a
low
house.
key a damn like sitcom, nigga.
It was a lot going on. We rented out was it 8 bedroom?
Yeah,
it's either 8 or 9.
Frat house,
I think it was a 9-bedroom, 9-bedroom, 6-bathroom house.
I don't see how y'all managed.
Well, so there was a lot of factors that made it work.
Men?
Yeah,
oh my goodness.
I mean, a lot of people were in well, not a lot. There were a few relationships, and so I mean, there were some women. There were a lot. I don't know how they did it, but I mean, it had its factors that made it work. So a good amount of us had our own entrances. So like, you know, you could be in your room and people not even see you. And then I mean, we were all friends for the most part going into it already. So the level of respect and just being able to hold each other accountable was there. Like, and I mean, everybody generally had a good head on their shoulders. Like, we had like C-Real, shout out to C-Real. He challenged all of us on the front end. Like, maybe our first year, like, let's all make Dean's List. Like, how hard it'd be if we all. Now, I don't think it quite worked out. But I mean, just to have the idea to challenge all of us. Like, yeah, this is what we gonna do. It's different. You know what I'm saying? Than versus like, we just really in there wilding out. And we was throwing parties mostly to help pay bills.
Hello.
I was about to ask, like, shout out to y'all being able to pay the bills when y'all were able to.
I mean, how
much did it all come out to?
I mean, we had an electric bill, like, I want to say during the winter that would get to like $400 sometimes. Because you got to think, shout out to Greg. Greg is going to keep downstairs on 60 degrees.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So like that alone.
Shout out to Greg, by the way.
Yeah, that alone is going to be a lot. But I mean, it used to go down. We threw a pajama party one homecoming.
How much y'all charge at the door?
We don't really be okay. So here's the issue. I was never allowed to walk or work the door. Me nor the homie KO were ever allowed to work the door because they said we were nice to people. I don't. you have to be a cold-hearted person to sit there and
So
charge.
who worked the door?
You already know who worked the door. The same person we mentioned 5 times on here for being an asshole, Dokes.
Yeah.
Dokes can look people in the eye that he see every day on campus and say, yes, it's $5 to come into my house. And it had no problem.
Hey, that's what you need. You need a sergeant.
Dokes and our homeboy.
Yeah.
Dokes, the homie Trevores, and Cortez. Shout out to all 3 of them because they ain't have no problem just sitting there and be like, yep. And then don't let you be a local.
Oh, boy.
50?
Yeah, quick.
To a house party, I just be like, hey,
Yeah.
y'all sit there and do that. And they be like, just go in the house because we don't want you messing up what we got going on.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right. But
Yeah,
yeah,
real
Chad's
shit.
homecoming at UT. If you stand in Tennessee looking for a PWI, it goes down every year. And then in Chad, I think they're adding a few more parties than they normally do. So that'll be straight. And then, I mean, HBCUs, I don't feel like you can miss. I don't know what HBCU. Like even, and I'm not gonna say no name specifically, even the HBCUs that you hear bad shit about for homecoming, it always seems to be lit.
So we're not gonna mention Fisk, but go ahead.
I wasn't even thinking Fisk. I was thinking Lane. But
There
shout
you
out
go.
to Lane.
All right, exactly.
My
So
bad.
yeah, like what we were
I'm
saying.
not gonna disrespect.
I'm not disrespecting them. You just don't hear.
I can.
I love Fisk. Shout out to my brother who is Mr. Fisk, by the way.
That's crazy. Shout out to Alan.
Yeah, man. Mr. Fisk, fuck you talking about.
Oh.
Royalty in the blood, fuck you talking
Yes.
about. Yeah.
Yeah, but I've had a great conversation with y'all. I'm gonna go ahead and close it because we'll be here all night if we just keep going.
Man, you ain't lying, nigga. It's 11 o'clock. I done missed 2 days, nigga.
But
I'm flexing. Yeah, like what you were saying. No, nobody want me. I'm Hugly. Y'all know what Hugly is? Have you seen Hugly? Hugly is when you're handsome and ugly.
I was about to guess that, and I was
You was? Dang, I'm sorry for taking your.
never.
your
Heard. Is that you?
I
thing?
created that.
Okay,
So I'm probably gonna put it on the
that.
T-shirt.
Ooh, do it.
Do it.
No.
It's done.
Do not
No.
do that.
Why not?
Don't put that on a
Ugly, don't do
T-shirt.
Why?
Put it on one T-shirt
One T-shirt.
that you will wear.
I'm hungry.
Okay.
But yeah, no. But yeah, I'm going to put it on a T-shirt. I don't know how I'm going to do it, but I'm just going to do it. Maybe I just need some water.
In a time of like stunting being the most successful it's ever been, why is the ugly thing still a phase?
I don't know.
Like Jay-Z said, what he said, ain't no such thing as an ugly billionaire.
I'm cute. That's what he said.
Like you really, like 2018 is really the age of just saying, fuck it, I'm this. Like, and you can be that. Like,
if you want to be,
whatever you say,
if you want to be a rocking chair, you be a rocking chair. Jay-Z, if you want to be cute, you be cute.
Bro, in 2018, with a little bit of money and face tuning, anybody can be everything, bro.
A little face tune. Don't
A little
overdo
face
it.
tune.
We can tell.
You know people who face tune?
Huh? Mama, what?
Is that common? Or like that? Is the average person face tuning?
Not the average.
What is that? I am
It's
not
an
privy.
app to where you can make alterations.
Imagine like Photoshop being made simple. Like imagine you want to just Photoshop yourself into like looking the way you imagine and dream yourself, and it being functional for like the average person.
That's low key sick as fuck.
It makes you look like a Disney princess. Sometimes
I'm about
if you
to
overdo it.
get on that app right
You
now.
need to just YouTube Facetune
And-
like selfies.
and I'm about to see. Yeah.
And like they're
Mm-hmm.
crazy. But back to the drink rating, Maya,
Finished it.
I'm for sure probably gonna have to get a water before I head home.
I got a purifier
Yeah,
right
I'm
there.
gonna
tea.
have to get a water. This book,
Yeah.
I fuck with the name.
Come on, book.
So the name pushes it, and it's a good drink. So I'm gonna give it a solid 8.
Gang.
Yeah, I'm
That's
gonna
all I
give it a
need.
solid
That's
8.
really all I needed.
Yeah, no, it's super.
Because I
solid.
didn't know what the fuck we were finna come
I
up
give
with.
it a 8.25 for that Millie Rock she just did too.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Have you? Never mind.
Have I Millie rocked in the
No,
club?
no.
Yes.
Oh no, never mind.
I was about to go on a totally different tangent about Millie rocking, but because it's just like people be so passionate when they do it. It's like, how do you just swing your arms
You
so
gotta get your abs,
hard?
too. And it's in the shoulders, really.
Yeah, the shoulders.
Do you
shoulders
know
are
a good
really
song
underrated.
to Millie rock to?
What is it?
Men in Black by Will Smith.
No.
Try it out.
Probably not the one.
Try it out.
I look straight to the ceiling.
I
like,
need you to try it out before
Here
when
goes-
Men in Black.
That's a little slow.
You low key could though.
Ain't
That's
no low key.
ridiculous.
I've done it. I'm telling you,
That's ridiculous.
often.
But as always, y'all, please follow us on social media. At _ me and the homies. Please rate, review, like, share, do all of that. We really appreciate it. It's been helping us grow. The numbers have been going up, which is crazy because I didn't realize
this may be it, bro. You
just watching the numbers, like it's really been crazy. I was like, oh, I have a listener in Canada.
Ooh.
Shout out to you. Like
put your friends on.
Whoever you are, shout out to you. I have a listener in Oregon.
Come on.
And I was like, this is crazy. Like,
that's what I'm saying, bro. You don't even realize.
We told you it was good.
I appreciate that.
Like, we fuck with it.
But I really appreciate y'all coming through and doing this episode with me. I think it's going to be a really good one. Shout out to Kaisha. I don't know how we going to even mention you on here. We got like 5 random TED Talks from Kaisha.
It was worth it.
I might edit it and put the TED Talk music on there at the end.
Oh.
Yeah, that might be what stay tuned for our TED Talk from Kaisha Christian. I might do that. That'd be hard. But yeah, I really appreciate y'all coming in. Did y'all have any birthday shout outs to do?
Mine.
When is your birthday?
October the 9th.
You know when the
that's Kayla's birthday.
Kayla, her, and Hood.
Oh, damn.
Y'all not getting shout out twice, though. So forget y'all.
Yes, we are. You gonna shout me out. What you talking about? It's my birthday. You mean?
You got any shout outs, Crutch?
No, man, I ain't got no shout out. I'm trying to think who has an October birthday. I mean, my uncle got an October birthday on Halloween.
October's very own.
Ricky. Ricky Lynn. Yeah, that's my uncle. But go ahead, man.
I guess that's a no. All right. Well, our birthday shout outs to the week. We got Lil Walt. Happy birthday, Lil Walt. Happy birthday to homie Hambrick. Happy birthday. Oh, that's your cousin, huh? You didn't even shout your cousin.
Hold on, time out.
Oh,
y'all are blood.
Folks is not real.
I shouted myself, and that's all that
Dang on.
Shout out to Hambrick. You can be my cousin. Since my
hold on. Whose side?
My dad.
Your daddy's side. Your daddy's side.
My dad, yeah.
D-E-D-D.
I was just like, you know my mama people.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, yeah, your dad. Yeah.
Because they're handbricks.
I think that's it.
So you're no, go ahead.
I think they were having a moment. Happy birthday shout out to Ariel. Happy birthday, Ariel. And happy birthday shout out to Coop. All right, y'all.
Happy birthday, homie. For me? Yeah. Happy birthday, homeboy. For me? Yeah. Make a wish.
I mean, go ahead.
Sorry. Okay, it was one thing that I read because I'm more of like a spiritual person.
Okay.
I'm more of like a spiritual person. So some of the things that I'm going off of is like more what's in tune with me and what resonates with me. Okay. So like, as far as comparing myself to other people, that's something that, especially with social media, is hard to do. When like not to do, I guess you could say, not to compare myself. But one thing I read here was about divine order. It says, all is in divine order. There are times when I may not recognize that all things work together for the good. When I align my thoughts with the divine and open myself to ideas, I come to realize that my life is indeed in order. Looking back on times when circumstances were not going the way I wanted, I can now see those experiences led to blessings. Affirming all is in divine order shifts my consciousness away from thoughts of limitation or lack to infinite possibilities of all that is good. I need not concern myself with how things will work out. I only need to hold my faith that they will. I affirm divine order and know that however my life unfolds, it will be for the highest good. All is in divine order. So when I started like thinking of things to not compare myself to other people and actually focus on what my purpose is and focus on like me actually moving to the will of God. Not saying I'm like super holy,
Yes.
but I'm just saying, like,
Speak on it.
I just think it really helps a person to have a state of mind of really just focus on themselves and not really try to outdo others, I guess you can say, in a way. So that's one thing that has helped me, and hopefully whoever is hearing this, it can help them. Because, like, I have, like, people having babies. Like, the last relationship I was in, my mama was asking me, when am I getting married and when am I having kids? I said, Kim.
That's always scary.
I'm not ready. I don't even want to pet fish. That's how much responsibility I do not want right now. Just for the fact I feel like my purpose is bigger than just having a family right now. Do I want to have kids and do I want to be married? Absolutely. But at the time when it is within the divine order, I don't want to just end up pregnant and then be in a loveless relationship just to say I'm in a relationship. You know what I mean? Or be married just as, keep up with the Joneses? For what? Because there's a lot of people that are married that are miserable. There's a lot of people that are in relationships that are miserable. And then at the same time, sticking with people who they're not supposed to be with. So I'm sorry. I'm that person. I know I apologize. I'm sorry that I apologize, but that's just me. But I can just say, like, with this growth, the spiritual growth is so important. And I feel like our generation lacks that in a way. Mm-hmm. But they all have it. It's just like, if they just tap into it, it can be so much easier. It could be so much easier. And I just hate that, everybody want to have fake shit.
Right.
And I'm walking away. I'm done with my TED Talk.
Thanks for coming to my TED Talk.
Yeah. Back to reschedule program. Yeah, man, but that's very
it is so lit. And when you actually do that test, because all of my friends took it, and I was like, out of all of us, I was the only extrovert, and I can actually read like how my friends are. Because like my cousin, he's like my best friend, but he's super judgmental. So I was like, oh, that just makes so much sense, because he's more logical, whereas for me, I'm more off of feeling and off of like trying to understand people's thoughts and how their experience and stuff like that. And this test is Jung, Jung, Typology, Typolog.
Do you have the link?
I'm gonna try to send it.
Yeah, just
try to send out the link.
Try to send it, then
I'm telling you, it was kind of lengthy as far as the test goes, but
sound like the 5 love languages.
Hey, listen, and then it says it's 16 personality types. So
16, dang.
16.
Right.
And it actually, once you read the type, the personality type, it actually has it broken down. And I said, this is me.
Imagine
and I'm trying not to be that person, because I'm that type of person. I read zodiac and stuff, but not like on a daily. But I am that type of person, like, oh, okay, I can see the resemblance or whatever. But this, I said, oh, this is me.
Is it? How is the? You sounded like that girl. You know what I'm talking about?
B. Simone, I love her.
Bro, I be tripping when I be hearing. I'm like, man, she's a trip.
How was the quiz? How was the quiz set up? Did you was it multiple choice?
It was, like how they do regular personality tests. It was like yes, no, yes, uncertain.
Yeah, so
it was like agree or disagree type thing. But like for me, I can say I was the type that I'm not really a person of absolutes. So like for me, like how my brother was, it's more like gray for me, because I feel like everybody's experiences make them who they are. So for me, when I was choosing things, I'm not the type of person to say, oh, this is definitely me. This is not me.
Yeah.
I'm kind of like in between. So for mostly on this quiz, I was surprised how it actually
came out,
summed it up how I was out of me, like, because it was like a definite yes or definite no, and then it was like uncertain, then it was a lowercase yes, and then a lowercase no. And I was like, that's kind of like me, but it's not all the way like me. So that was one thing that
all those. I'm so difficult because I'm sitting there judging myself, and I'm like, sometimes you be tripping though, and I'm like, and I'm just sitting there like, nah. I'd be like, this is hot, and I find myself. The reason I'm conflicted with those is I find myself putting how I would like to be versus what I am. Like it's like always, makes deadlines. I'm like, yeah, I be making my deadlines and shit, but I mean, I be bullshitting.
That's when you got to be honest.
But I mean, yeah, it's always.
I'm gonna be honest with myself. Okay, so are you always on time? Are you like
that be my thing? Cause that like for some reason like, my brain and my pen don't link. It just
you
won't.
You be putting something different.
I be like, you know what?